We're in Preston today, in the heart of Lancashire. This is Pete Yarwood. He's the chair of the Lancashire User Forum.
And this is Tom Woodcock. He's a strategic director for LDAT. Tom, you're responsible for commissioning a framework that has enabled recovery to flourish in Lancashire. Tell us a bit more about that.
Well, it's been a long process. I mean, the commissioning of treatment services is quite a technical business, but the big focus we have now is on recovery, and that's from a national level. And recovery is about outcomes. Recovery is about people's health getting better, people dealing with addiction, people stopping offending, turning their lives around, gaining employment and training. Recovery is a broad concept, and it's one that we're fully committed to. We've put some money in. It's taxpayers' money. It's the best way you could possibly think to spend taxpayers' money in my book. And this film's showcasing some of that. The Lancashire User Forum, Red Rose Recovery, you name it, lots and lots of different groups and organisations have really gripped this agenda.
It truly is a collaboration, partnership working, Tom. But who owns it?
Nobody. Nobody, no one person, no one group owns recovery. It's a much broader concept, and the strength of it is in that fact that it is a shared goal. It's a shared desire. It cuts right across all our key public sector agencies. The police want to see recovery happening, the prison service want to see it happening, the local authority, health, you name it. It's a common goal that the public sector is working towards improving the health and well-being in our communities. And you know, the most important thing is individuals and families benefit from it.
Well, it's not left me a great deal to say really. It's more or less polished through my presentation. My name's Kurt Ryder, and my pathway through into Red Rose Recovery has been through treatment, volunteering through CRI, through ACON, volunteering for love, and getting hooked into the community on the projects. And from the 1st of October, I was employed as project coordinator for the moment, for the time being, because no one knows the name of the boat. It's called the Love Boat.
Yeah, but what we saw, Dave, was that, you know, at the Lancashire User Forum, we work on the asset-based community development, and we saw an infrastructure. We saw an asset, if you like, that brought us in the 17th and 18th century. It brought us the Industrial Revolution. You know, this changed the way that England operated. You know, it was massive. This was it. This was what brought us to become the great Britain that we are. You know, and so we looked at it and we thought, we're sat on an asset, an infrastructure. You know, why don't we use that? So what have we got running right through the middle of Lancashire? But we've got the Leeds-Liverpool Canal. So the vision was to let's take the boat along there, yeah, and let's not only use it as a training hub, but let's use it as a place of not getting the recovery visible. So let's turn up. Let's get involved in. We're big on the 5 keys to well-being, because I genuinely believe, you know, it's a community problem. You know, it's not an individual problem that should be brushed under the carpet like it has been. You know, it affects everybody. It affects people. It affects lives. It affects families. You know, and so by doing that, we're giving them the sort of a hub, if you like. Where what we're saying is, with the fellowships out there and the SMART and whatever it may be, if the boat's there in that community, if you want to use that and start to use it for a meeting hub, and it starts to lift off, and people in that community start to use it, then take the guys from the fellowships and help build that in that community, you know, and let's make this. I genuinely, honestly believe we are in the middle of a recovery revolution,
a change in the system, and a change in the way people work. My name's Kurt Ryder, and I'm a committee member of the Lancashire User Forum, and from the 1st of October I'm now employed by Red Rose Recovery as a project coordinator for the boat Chrysalis.
Hi, this is Emma Jay from Red Rose Recovery Radio. We've got Max here, the North Lancashire Brickworker. What are you doing here today, Max?
I'm here today to support LOF, and I'm also here representing the North. And we've got a good few service users down with us, volunteers, and just enjoying
us, the area that I work in, we're quite a unitary authority, so we're quite isolated from everybody else. So it's a great opportunity for Blackburn to link in with the rest of Lancashire and get involved with everything else that's going on within the community.
Brilliant. Well, no, just relaxing and
been good, hasn't it? Yeah, great atmosphere. It's been the place is beautiful, and it was nice to get a grip of Ted Robbins and get him in here and tell a few jokes with the guys. I think that kind of, they deserve that with all the hard work that's gone in here. And
it's great seeing you folks. I was speaking to me when we were on the radio last week, weren't we, talking about the work that you do, and everyone getting their friends and good comradeship that you have, companionship that you have together. My mum worked for many years, God rest her, for the Samaritans, and she got to know sometimes the problems that everybody has from all walks of life, and it's something that's great, that there's non-judgmental, it can be all sorts of things, and I absolutely salute you for what you do together, and whatever your personal goal or quest is in life, God bless you for it, and it's just lovely to meet you, and what else can I say, except I feel humbled to be here with you all. My own particular addiction is pork pies.
Hey, we can help you.
Started mainlining them. It's hard to go straight in, you know. I'm smacking my tits right now, actually, I tell you, I shouldn't be in there.
There's a good support place in Wigan.
It's a good support Wigan one, yeah. But I hope you don't think I'm making light of anything, but it is great to meet you, and I hope life's well for you, and you have a very Merry Christmas. I'm in pantomime this year. Oh, yes, I am.
Oh, no, you're not.
At the Charter Theatre in Preston. I stand on the stage and I shout, "Where's my career?" And they all shout, "It's behind you."
I just want to hand it over now to the next leader of Lancashire User Forum. So can you give Darren Walters a warm welcome?
First and foremost, I'd like to thank Peter Howard for setting up this LUF from scratch, really. Absolutely brought it to the surface, and made recovery across Lancashire really visible.
My role at the moment, I'm taking over the Lancashire User Forum chair. It's in the process of being dropped down from Pete Yarwood, who put it all together in the first place, and it's sort of expanded over the last 2 years. This time again we're about to expand it even further into 3 different localities: East Lancashire, Central Lancashire and North Lancashire. As I say, it's forever expanding, and each locality is going to have its own committee with its own chairperson. This enables us to reach even further south into the more rural areas. The LUF, Lancashire User Forum, it brings people together from substance misuse backgrounds, as well as families, commissioners, service providers across Lancashire. We all interact on a six weekly basis, and we find a venue, and we interact together and connect with each other.